Let's not sugarcoat it. He murdered his own parents. He stood over their bodies as their blood soaked the floor. He wiped out an entire clan, including children, overnight. Itachi Uchiha is a monster. Or at least, that's what we all thought. For years, we hated him, feared him, turned his name into a curse. But then, we learned the truth. And suddenly the villain became the most tragic hero in anime history. The monster had a heartbeat. The traitor had a reason. This isn't just a story about a massacre. It's a story about love twisted into silence. About sacrifice so deep, it becomes invisible. About a boy who gave up his soul so his little brother could live without knowing what peace costs. Let's talk about Itachi Uchiha and why his story still breaks us. Itachi Uchiha wasn't born a killer. He was born into war. When he was just 4 years old, the Third Great Ninja War was at its peak. He saw things no child should ever see. Piles of corpses, soldiers dying in puddles of mud, blood soaking the earth like rain. This wasn't a game. This was trauma, and it stayed with him. That war broke something in him. Or maybe it awakened something. Because even at that age, Itachi began to ask the questions most adults avoid. Why do we fight? Why do people die? What does peace even look like? He wasn't just a prodigy. He was a philosopher trapped in a boy's body, watching the world burn and wondering why no one else was putting out the fire. And when the war ended, the conflict didn't. Then came Sasuke. Itachi was just 5 years old when his baby brother was born. But in that tiny crying bundle, Itachi saw hope. For the first time, someone was looking up to him, not for power, but for protection, for love. Sasuke wasn't just a brother, he was a reset button, a reason to believe that maybe the cycle could end with them, that maybe he could carry the darkness so Sasuke didn't have to. From that moment, Itachi's world shifted. He stopped seeing himself as the center. He started living for someone else. That kind of devotion is beautiful, but also dangerous, because when someone becomes your whole purpose, you'll do anything to protect them, even burn down everything else. That was the turning point. Why did Itachi kill his clan? Let's start with the question that breaks everyone's moral compass. Why did he do it? Why kill them all? Itachi was only 13 years old when he was tasked by the village elders to make an unthinkable choice: wage war or commit genocide. The Uchiha clan had grown discontent, suspicion, distrust, discrimination. Decades of mistreatment from the Hidden Leaf village had driven them toward rebellion. A coup was coming, and Itachi, a double agent working for both the Uchiha and the village's Anbu Black Ops, was caught in the crossfire. The village gave him a choice: let civil war erupt, killing thousands, or end it before it starts, by wiping out his own people. He chose what he believed was the lesser evil. He chose peace through blood. And here's where morality begins to blur. Is it moral to kill hundreds to save thousands? Does preventing war justify murder? In any other story, this would be framed as cold-blooded treason. But in Naruto, we're asked to look deeper. Itachi wasn't a villain. He was a scapegoat. A weapon forged by the state, told to do the dirty work so others could live in ignorant bliss. The love that drove Itachi. But here's what makes Itachi's story unbearable. He didn't kill everyone. He spared one life, Sasuke, his little brother. He didn't just love Sasuke, he worshipped him. Itachi's entire existence became about protecting that boy from the truth, from the weight of their family's sins, from the darkness of the shinobi world. He told Sasuke a lie so painful it would turn him into a revenge-obsessed orphan. That I killed our parents because I wanted power, because I'm evil, because I'm the enemy. Why? Because Itachi believed hatred was easier to live with than grief. He turned himself into a monster so that Sasuke could have purpose, so that Sasuke could grow stronger, so that he could someday be strong enough to kill the very brother who loved him more than life itself. Itachi gave up everything: his honor, his name, his place in history, all for one person. A philosophy of sacrifice. Itachi's philosophy can be summed up in one sentence. Sometimes you must do great evil for a greater good. He chose utilitarianism over idealism, the needs of the many over the few. Sounds familiar? Every war, every conflict, every genocide has had this excuse. This worldview is dangerous because when governments ask soldiers to sacrifice everything, even their humanity, who decides what's just? Itachi lived in a system that normalized secrecy and sacrifice. He became both a weapon and a warning. His story tells us this. When peace demands silence, oppression grows in the shadows. But he also believed that no one else should have to bear that weight. That peace built on lies was still better than truth built on war. What Itachi teaches us about human relationships. So what does this have to do with us, with real life? Itachi's story reflects a painful truth about relationships, especially the ones built on loyalty, family, or duty. Sometimes love means making the hard choices. Sometimes love is silent. Sometimes love looks like hate. But here's the danger. When we sacrifice our truth for someone else's peace, we lose ourselves. Itachi's love for Sasuke was pure, but also controlling. He never gave Sasuke a choice. He never let him grieve honestly. He protected him from the truth by becoming the villain. That's not sustainable. That's not healthy. And in the end, it broke them both. Itachi Uchiha isn't a hero. He isn't a villain. He's a tragedy. The kind of character who forces you to look at the uncomfortable gray areas of morality. Would you kill your family to stop a war? Would you become a monster to protect the person you love? Would you choose peace if it meant living as the enemy? His story reminds us that morality is messy, that love is not always kind, and that sometimes the people we judge the hardest are the ones who suffered the most in silence. And that's why we'll never stop talking about him. If this video gave you a new perspective on Itachi or made you feel anything, drop a comment and let's talk about it. Hit like, subscribe, and maybe take a moment to tell your sibling you love them. Just don't traumatize them into becoming a rogue ninja. Until next time, stay curious. この目を持つ日が来るんだろうか。この悲しみを知る日が。